தமிழ் கோர்வை சேனல் சார்பாக அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். என் பெயர் கண்ணதாசன். Today I am going to present my video on plant tissue culture part 4. This is the end of the plant tissue culture series. Part 1 you would have learnt about basic concepts of tissue culture. Part 2 you would have learnt about laboratory facilities of plant tissue culture. Part 3 techniques involved in plant tissue culture. Part 4 you are going to discuss actual plant tissue culture. And before we are going to enter into this video, if you like this video, press the like button, share this video to your friends, comment on it, subscribe our channel and press the bell icon to receive more such videos in future. How to use my videos? A suggestion: watch my videos regularly and sincerely with your textbooks or any competitive exam books. Send your doubts through email or WhatsApp or Instagram. Share this video to your friends so that you can discuss among yourself. Download my video and just spend some 10 minutes to recollect what you have learnt already. Like videos and subscribe my channel so that I will be motivated to work for you. And this is the outline of plant tissue culture. So this is the plant. The part anyone can be used as an explant. Here the leaf is given. The tissue from the leaf can be inoculated in the nutrient medium. Then the cells start dividing and produce an undifferentiated, unorganized mass of tissue that is called as callus. Then the callus separated and a single cell cultured. So callus is separated and broken down, and each cell develop into an entire plant. So this is the outline of plant tissue culture. Induction of callus. First, explant of 1 to 2 centimeter sterile segment means it is sterilized, free from microbes. Selected from the leaf, stem, tuber or root is inoculated. Inoculation means transferring the explant to sterile glass tube containing nutrient medium. In the MS nutrient medium and variety of medium we learnt already, supplemented with auxins. Induction of callus. The culture medium with the explant incubated at 25 degrees Celsius plus or minus 2 degrees Celsius. Alternate light and dark period of 12 hours to induce cell division, and soon the upper surface of explant develops into callus. So the upper surface of the explant start developing into callus in this environment, in these conditions. So callus, what is callus? Callus is a mass of two words you should remember. One is unorganized and another one is undifferentiated growth of plant cells or tissues in vitro culture medium. In vitro means in the laboratory condition. Embryogenesis. The callus cell undergoes differentiation. Differentiation, it is already I told you undifferentiated. Now it undergoes differentiation and produce somatic embryos known as embryoids. So somatic embryos, they are not actual embryos. So this is the callus. It start producing the embryoids. You see, embryoids give the appearance of actual embryos coming out from the zygote. The callus tissue showing numerous embryoids. Embryoids are non-zygotic, embryo-like structure which are formed in vitro culture and have the potential to develop into a full-fledged plant. Somatic embryo culture. A somatic embryo develops from a somatic cell. A pattern of development of a somatic embryo is comparable to that of a zygotic embryo. So it gives the similarity. It is very similar to that of zygotic embryo. That's the reason why we are using the term called as embryo. Somatic embryo culture is induced by a high concentration of auxin such as 2,4-D. The expansion of 2,4-D is dichlorophenoxyacetic acid. These embryos develop into mature embryos. Mature somatic embryos or embryoid germinate to give complete plantlet. You see, these are the somatic embryos give the appearance of actual embryos. Embryoids continues. They belong to the category of somatic embryos where embryos develop from diploid vegetative cell. Right? The embryoids grow into a typical plant like normal embryos. Like normal embryos, these embryoids also grow into a typical plant. Stewart, a scientist, has estimated that 1 lakh embryos can be formed from a single carrot embryo, not an entire carrot or an explant. So from an explant, we are able to produce 1 lakh embryos of particular plant. So it can be commercially used to that is cultivate the plant in a very large area. The embryos or subculture to produce plantlets. The embryos are subcultured to produce plantlets. Hardening. The plantlets so grown inside the test tube in the laboratory. Now it is brought to the brought outside the laboratory. Okay, that is called as greenhouse or hardening chamber. Okay, so that it is able to adjust itself in the in vivo condition. So it is able to adapt itself to the normal environmental condition. What is the reason for such hardening? When it is in the laboratory condition, they are not having any waxy cuticle, so they are not able to prevent the water loss. So when they are hardened, they are able to develop the waxy cuticle so that they are able to prevent the loss of water. Now this is the hardening of plants in greenhouse. Acclimatization to in vivo condition. You see, very large number of plants are in the hardening condition. Hardening here you see in vitro laboratory to in vivo but controlled hardening chamber. Then it is brought to the natural environment. The process here also known as acclimatization, adjustment to the normal environment so that it can successfully survive in the normal condition. Differentiation of callus. So callus can be differentiation, undergo differentiation. Either it becomes shoot, it is called as caulogenesis. You see that spelling, and root rhizogenesis. So both leads to the formation of plantlets. And this is the total ability of a plant cell by the totipotency nature. You see, it can be converted into embryogenesis, embryoid, so complete plantlet can be produced, or it can be converted into organo, that is subjecting the process of organogenesis. It can produce only shoot, caulogenesis, or only root, rhizogenesis. So by various hormonal adjustment, we are able to make the callus to produce only the shoot or root, or also known as caulo-rhizogenesis, shoot with root. And also histogenesis is also possible, also known as cytodifferentiation, xylem, phloem. Likewise, independent or individual tissue can be produced. Here you can see the roots alone produced. Afterwards, the shoot is produced. Shoot culture is promoted by cytokinin and auxin like NAA, naphthalene acetic acid. The root and shoot culture generally controlled by auxin cytokinins balance. Usually an excess of auxin promote root culture, whereas that of excess of cytokinin promotes shoot culture. And this is the overall application of plant tissue culture. It is amazing that various types of plant part can be used as an explant, and also we are able to produce virus free plantlets from the nodes of the stem. Here multiple shoot induction can be done, and then root induction, plantlet hardening, and transfer to the field. The same way, indirect embryogenesis, shoot induction, root induction, plantlets hardening, and transfer to the field. Without callus, direct embryogenesis leads to the hardening and transfer of transfer to the field condition. And this is the overall plant regeneration pathway. In the previous slide also we have seen the flow chart of plant regeneration pathway, various pathway by which we are able to produce plantlets, and then it is transferred to the field. And this also with the picture it is given here. Various parts are used as explant. From the explant, callus, indirect organogenesis, root, shoot, and then plantlet is produced. Or somatic embryos, callus, from the callus somatic embryos can be produced, or from the explant directly somatic embryos can be produced. So this is about plant tissue culture, and this is the end of plant tissue culture series. Thank you very much, students.